prime time. This is victory. We are the chosen ones. We're making history. We'll show you what we got. Give everything we have. Every sweat, blood, and tear. Every last breath. We put up a fight until the last man, until the last day, until our last dance. We are here giving everything and more. To seize the opportunity, you know that we will score. This is victory.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to the last session for the NXT Gen Cup race number 2 here at Motorsport Arena, Oschersleben. My name is Dan Papels. Next to me in the commentary booth is Sebastian Borghardt. Sebastian, it's time to get race 2 underway. A little bit different, this one, compared to race number 1. We've reversed the top 8 of the result of race number 1. So that means that Siri Högfeldt is now on pole position, and our winner of race number 1, Dietrich, will be in P8.
Yeah, it's an interesting grid for this race. We had all in the top 8 were fighting for the positions in the top 5, I would say, in the first race. But looking at Alexander Gustafsson starting 4th, I think he will be a contender for the win in this race.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Maxime Dacha, Lennart Wolf, they were, I mean, the fights those two had were amazing to see. I think those two will be looking to continue that fight, but for a bit of a higher position this time. Siri Högfeldt from pole position will have high hopes. Philip Bartosz, what can he do from P2? Has improved his racecraft immensely over the winter, has been working on his mental game, is on a special diet. He's trying everything he can to get that first win in the NXT Gen Cup. He has, of course, been with us for the 3rd season this year. Then, of course, through the grids, Maxime Dacha in P3. Then it's Wolf in P4, Alex Gustafsson in P5, Lukas Stiefelhagen 6th, 7th is Patricia Stalizana, and 8th is Philip Dietrich. That's a reverse top 8. We're looking at the STFG car from Lennart Wolf. Then behind that is the Hankook car, like I said, from Alex Gustafsson. He will be looking to get onto the podium, what he was looking to do in race 1.
But he didn't use any push to pass in the first race. He got confused with the number of laps and didn't use his push to pass. So this time it can be a whole another story.
There were quite a couple of drivers who didn't use their push to pass because there was, for some reason, no final lap board. So drivers thought that it was the second to last of what they thought would be 8 laps, but it was a 7-lap race. So no final lap boards, which confused a couple of drivers. Philip Dietrich used both of his push-to-passes, so showing that it is possible to use both of them in time. Patricia, who finished 2nd just behind him, though, only used 1 push-to-pass. So you have to say, what if she was able to use that last push-to-pass, maybe coming out of the last corner, if she knew it was the last lap of the race. Alex Gustafsson didn't use push-to-pass. Lukas Stiefelhagen also had both of his push-to-passes left. Maxime Dacha also had his push-to-passes left. Philip Bartosz, I think, used both of them. Siri Högfeldt was quite tactical with them. But I talked to Patricia after the race, and something that to me was very interesting was that in pre-season testing, she had a new engineer from last year to this year, and she said, he humbled me quite quickly. He told me to look at the race a little differently. He told me to think when I'm racing. Before, she was kind of doing it all on intuition. She was a very intuitive driver. Now she's thinking in the moment, and she's thinking about what she's doing. And I think that was quite visible, actually, in race 1. She was a very smart driver out there.
Yeah, you can see that she has another approach, and as you say, you feel that when you talk to her. And also she has 1 year of experience in the series, in the car, and I also think she feels more comfortable racing in these electric minis.
Here we go. The 1-minute board is coming out. That means 1 minute until 5 red lights on the gantry. And to get the 2nd race of the 2025 season underway.
And look, Siri is pointing towards the first corner.
Yeah, so is Philip Bartosz, though. He's also pointed towards the first corner. However, he's on the inside. Yeah, a strange angle of attack there from Philip Bartosz, but I'm sure he has an idea behind it. Let's hope that all cars get going. Of course, we had that start incident between Vivian Earl and Linda Frey. Both of them are in this race. Cars are completely repaired, so let's hope that both of them this time can get off the line.
Yeah, it's almost time, Dan.
19 seconds left before our red lights on the gantry start to turn red. I have a prediction for the top 3. I'm going to go Alex Gustafsson in P2. Lucas Stiefelhagen will take the win and Patricia Stalizzana in P3. We're top 3 there, but it'll make sense in all a second. Here we go then. 5 red lights are awaited on the gantry. The 5 red lights are on when they're out. We're underway and racing, and that is now. It's a good start from Siri Högfeldt at the front. Not a great start from Filip Bartosz. A lot of wheel spin off the line and immediately dropping back. Multiple positions, almost, well, dropping out of the top 8 before even getting to turn 1. He has done so. Siri Högfeldt, though, has kept the lead ahead of Lennart Wolf. Maxim Dacha also has been beaten off the line. It's Alex Gustafsson already in P3. I told you he was one to look out for. And coming out of turn 2, hotel corner, he's already up onto the podium where he wants to be. Lennart Wolf in P2. Siri Högfeldt, the defensive line going into turn 3, but she has done everything she needed to do. Filip Bartosz, though, a bad start.
Yeah, and Filip Dietrich made a good start, but lost out. He got on the outside into turn 2 and lost a couple of positions there.
Same, I think, was the case for Lucas Stiefelhagen. Tried it on the outside, the attack on Maxim Dacha. Couldn't quite make it stick and had to drop back behind him. Alex Gustafsson looking at the battle in front of him. Lennart Wolf has passed Siri Högfeldt for the lead of this race. It's like a full herd but now behind her, trying to all get past her. Siri Högfeldt a bit tight through the chicane. Will compromise her exit onto the straight now. So Alex Gustafsson will look to capitalize off of that.
And Benjamin Massat is looking racy behind Bennett Earl.
A very defensive line from Alex Gustafsson, trying everything he can to try and get past Siri Högfeldt, but also defend from those behind. Siri Högfeldt has to yield to Alex Gustafsson, has to yield to Maxim Dacha, who's pushing Alex Gustafsson through the corner. We see push, or we see bum drafting usually on the straight. We're seeing it in the corners here in NXT Gen Cup. Lucas Stiefelhagen also getting past Siri Högfeldt. She's dropping down the order faster than a stone in the pond. It's also Patricia Stalizzana making her way past Filip Dietrich, doing the same. Maxim Dacha exploring the gravel trap on the outside of the last corner. But that is the first lap only done. So much action already to talk about. I think most notably for me, though, is the fact that Filip Bartosz has dropped back down to 9th.
Yeah, and Filip Dietrich is a bit stuck. You can see Lucas Stiefelhagen already up to 4th. And those are 2 guys we expect to fight for the championship this year.
Yeah, and especially if you see the results of race number 1. Patricia Stalizzana, also one that took herself into that championship conversation with her result in, well, what could have been qualifying, but also especially in race 1, finishing 2nd, equaling her best result of last season at the Sachsenring in the 4th race there, doing it in the 1st race of the season here. Is special for her too. She was in the mix too, and she has gotten up the order also much quicker than Filip Dietrich has been able to do. Alex Gustafsson up at the 2nd now, behind Lennart Wolf. Maxim Dacha in P3. I think Maxim Dacha will be happy to sit in behind Alex Gustafsson if he has the pace to catch back up to Lennart Wolf. We have seen, though, that now multiple drivers have tried to put themselves in the conversation for this victory. If they're going to start fighting, we have seen in race 1 that everyone behind you basically will close back up. So what they'll try and do is not fight too much. However, Maxim Dacha says, I don't care about that. Alex Gustafsson using his push to pass tactically. An early push to pass usage there of the number 19 with the AD sponsoring on the door. Alex Gustafsson up into the lead.
Yeah, Lennart Wolf was getting a bit of a gap. It was 4/10, but you can see how quickly you can close the gap with push to pass.
Yeah, there was quite a gap between them. What Alex Gustafsson will look to do now is try and put Lennart Wolf back into Maxim Dacha. That will happen automatically with a bad exit out of the last corner of the track. And Alex Gustafsson will try and run the slipstream, though, helping immensely for Lennart Wolf. Will he try and move into turn 1? You have to think that he will be happy to sit in behind Alex Gustafsson, try and wait until the last lap, knows that he has an advantage now in terms of push to pass. If a safety car comes out at any point now, all of the advantage that Alex Gustafsson will try and gain will be negated. Back to the start, and this is when the 5 red lights went out. This time all cars did get going. Lots and lots and lots of wheel spin, I think, for the Screenbolaget car, the colorful car on the grid.
That's Theo Wider.
Yeah, Theo Wider indeed. A lot of wheel spin there for him. Getting off his starting position. And here you can see on the outside Filip Dietrich trying to go past the now Mele-sponsored red and white car.
And the top 6 has got almost 2-second gap down to Filip Bartos in 7th at the moment.
Yeah, Filip Bartos, I think it's a race of trying to get back up to that top 6. But after the start, confidence will have had at least a little knock. Not the start that he was looking for, but you can see Alex Gustafsson, what he tried to do is working. Has never had a victory in the NXT Gen Cup before. Alex Gustafsson, best result in the NXT Gen Cup so far is a second place on the podium, I think in 2023. And he has been overtaken now by Maxim Dacha. There we go, another usage of push to pass. The drivers are getting tactical now.
And we have the same top 6 as in the first race.
Yeah, I think the top 6 is a little clear. Oh, as Patricia Stalizana tries an audacious move into the last corner. Lucas Stiefelhagen did not see that coming. The exit will be for Lucas though. Patricia will get the slipstream from Lennart Wolf, who's trying to push Alex Gustafsson. Maxim Dacha though, with his second usage of push to pass, I feel like is trying to open up a gap. Lennart Wolf looking on the inside of turn 1 on Alex Gustafsson. Doesn't quite work out. The two will be trying to catch back up to the 67 of Maxim Dacha, but has gotten a good gap now. However, we have seen that doesn't mean that much, since Alex Gustafsson had about the same gap and got overtaken anyways.
Yeah, and Patricia Stalizana in the second corner got past Lucas Stiefelhagen, and this can be important for the championship as she's trailing him with just a few points.
Yeah, and after race 1, she is the first of our top 3 finishers in that race. Lennart Wolf now right ahead of her. And like I said, she's racing extremely smartly she raced extremely smartly in race number 1. She will look to do exactly the same here in race number 2. Did have the fastest lap in race 1. So the speed for sure is there. She just needs to pick her battles now, be smart in the way she attacks, when she attacks, and how she uses her push to pass. She knows that Maxim Dacha, Alex Gustafsson have both at least used one of their push to passes from what we know. So that's at least an advantage for Patricia.
Yeah, and we award 1 extra point for the fastest lap in the championship, and at the moment it is Patricia Stalizana who has the fastest lap.
Once again showing that the pace is there, the outside for turn 11. The Shell S is once again a prey for Patricia Stalizana. Lucas Stiefelhagen follows through on the move as well, and Lennart Wolf, from being 3rd, is down to 5th and could potentially lose a top 5 spot here to Philip Dietrichs too, and he goes into the pits. Did he have to go into the pits there? I don't know. It's not something you do in the NXT Gen Cup. Pitting, we do not do in this championship. It's an 8-lap sprint to the checkered flag, but Lennart Wolf has gone into pit lane, and that is race over for him.
Yeah, even if he gets out on track, he will be lost for sure. Maxim Dacher, 0.7 of a second the lead when they started the 5th lap here at Oschersleben. And hopefully there is no issues for Lennart Wolf, but otherwise he wouldn't pit, I guess.
I didn't see any contact. Was he forced into pit lane? No, he pulls into the working lane, and this is a surprise to me. What exactly has happened there? Well, he's explaining it to engineers, to mechanics, eagerly trying to get back out on track to try and get something back from this race. But, well, anything remotely close to the points, I think, for him is out of contention, and that is sad to see for someone who was doing so extremely well in this race. I didn't see any potential contact that could have caused any damage to the car. However, Patricia Stalizana, you can see she's in the best position now, has not used any push to pass. Dacha, Gustafsson have both used 1. That means if she can close up together with Alex Gustafsson, she is the one who potentially has the best cards here for the victory.
Yeah, you said she's racing smarter this year. She's also racing really fast. And now she's passed Alexander Gustafsson for 2nd place.
Into the Shell S once again. It's a favorite corner for Patricia Stalizana this weekend. Is once again on course to equal that season best result of season 2024. And for now, season 2025 as well. But she'll be looking to get more out of this one than that she has at the moment. 5 of the 8 laps completed. We're coming up to 6 of the 8 laps completed. Patricia up into P2, and remember, had to come all the way from P7. It's been a majestic drive from Patricia Stalizana so far. Can she go the extra mile? Alex Gustafsson coming back at her with a push to pass. He's getting tactical now. That was way too far for the slipstream to work. That's a push to pass, and he makes it pass before turn 1, but he'll be slowing both of them down. 9/10 was the gap across start finish. They have been closing in on Maxim Dacha, but with the way they're driving right now, it's taking too long for Patricia. Here we see Vivian Earl into turn 3, losing the rear end of the car. Does she keep it out of the gravel? Yes, she does. Luckily for us, green flag racing continues. We would not want this racing to come to an end. There's so much still to unfold in the 2.5 laps that we have left, Sebastian.
Yeah, and this is the first race weekend for Vivian, so she's doing a good job so far.
Yeah, really impressed by Vivian. Of course, it's not that she's done karting before, she hasn't done any sim racing before. This is her first time ever in any type of racing. And well, Vivian is doing a tremendous job considering that. Patricia Stalizzane is stuck behind Alex Gustafsson. Alex Gustafsson, for me, doesn't quite seem to have the pace to try and catch up to Maxim Dacha. Patricia is going to have to do this without push to pass, but there comes Lukas Stiefelhagen with his use of push to pass. Patricia is in the midst of it all. She has to be smart here. Alex Gustafsson's going to go wide. It's a position where you really don't want to be in because you know that you're losing time. You can feel that you're losing time. And it's also frustrating going into turn 13. Braking late. Alex Gustafsson leaves the door open for her. Leaves her room. Maxim Dacha, or Philip Dietrich looking for the move on the inside of Patricia Stalizzane. She says, no sir, you're not getting through there.
Yeah, and this letting both Maxim Dacher and Lukas Stiefelhagen getting a bit of a gap back to them as Patricia comes back down to the first corner.
Yeah, I think that's with the usage of push to pass. If I see the overspeed she had going past Alex Gustafsson, she will now try and catch back up to the rear of Lukas Stiefelhagen. But this is something, I have to be honest with you, something that we haven't seen in, well, quite a while. The inside off for Alex Gustafsson. Patricia Stalizzane professionally closes that off. Make sure that Alex Gustafsson can't even have a look going into turn 3, but it's something that we haven't seen in quite a while. What we've seen in a lot of the previous races is that push to pass is usually safe to the last lap of the race. What we've seen in this race, it's been a real strategic battle, and I don't know how many push to passes Lukas Stiefelhagen has left. He's kind of been sitting back on this one, has just used push to pass to get past both Alex Gustafsson and Patricia Stalizzane, and has now closed up the gap to Maxim Dacha. He's one who has a point to prove after being first in so many sessions, but then missing out in the race. It feels like he's driving with a real intention of, well, at least catching back up to Dacha, if not going for a move.
Yeah, we have Philip Dietrich, race 1 winner. He is still just behind Alexander Gustafsson. I think he is a contender for at least third in this race.
Here we go, that move from Lukas Stiefelhagen with push to pass, used it at the exact right time, going past both Patricia Stalizzane and Alex Gustafsson. And with that, up into P2, Alex keeps P3 ahead of Patricia Stalizzane. I feel if Patricia just had a little better luck, as we see some parts flying off the car. I think there was a fender from Alex Gustafsson, who has been left behind on the track. Alex trying an audacious move back on Philip Dietrich. It's going to open up the gap that Patricia has, but the two of them going side by side through the last corner. There we go, there's the final lap point. No excuses of not using push to pass now, Sebastian.
No, but who has them left? They have been using them left to right all race.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation for us to know who has what left. We have no way of knowing it in the commentary booth. I have a feeling we'll see as soon as one of them is using it. Patricia seems set for another podium. Lukas Stiefelhagen seems set for another podium. Philip Dietrich, though, will try and catch back up to the rear of the white number 4 of Patricia Stalizzane to get back up to that podium. That'll be a podium battle. Can Lukas Stiefelhagen? It looks like he's the only one who can challenge Maxim Dacha, who's been in control of this race, for the victory.
Yeah, he has been so much in control, we have barely talked about him for the last few laps.
Yeah, there's been so much going on behind him, and still there is. It's Alex Gustafsson now behind Philip Dietrich. It feels like he's come out worse of all of the drivers that were fighting for it in the beginning of the race. It looks like, or it looked like for a moment at least, Alex Gustafsson had the cards right to at least be on the podium, try and do what he wanted to do in race 2. But it seems like towards the end of this race, it's all faded away for him. When is Maxim Dacha going to use his push to pass? When is Lukas Stiefelhagen going to use his push to pass? He's for sure closing back up to the rear of Maxim Dacha. It's going to be a battle to the line.
And Philip Dietrich on the grass overtaking Patricia Stalizzane.
Yeah, that happened in the background. Still the battle, though, through the shell. Yes, Patricia Stalizzane been one of her favorite corners throughout this race, but we focus on the battle at the front of the field. Is it going to be a push to pass battle? The outside for Lukas Stiefelhagen going in to turn 14. He's going to tuck back into that slipstream. The run to the line is long, but Maxim Daga did everything perfect this race. He takes victory ahead of Lukas Stiefelhagen, who takes second. Once again, it's been a highly contested race, and Philip Dietrich with 2:10s takes the podium away from Patricia Stalizzane and Alex Gustafsson. I feel like will be disappointed again with a P5. Looked like for so long in this race like he had the best cards to get up onto the podium and even potentially claim victory here, but ends up 5th in a race that was highly contested for the victory. But it's the 67 of Maxim Daga who takes the victory in race number 2. And what a crazy reverse grid we had.
Yeah, and we had 2 races today, and we have had 2 debutee winners in the NXT Gen Cup.
Of course, a lot of drivers who returned, but it is the debutees who did it today. Maxim Daga and Philip Dietrich who took the victory here today. Tomorrow, we have to talk about that. It's going to start all over again. A new qualifying session, 2 new races today. Won't count for tomorrow. But here is the result. Maxim Daga ahead of Lukas Stiefelhagen by just over a 1/10 of a second. Philip Dietrich in 3rd, Patricia Stalizzane in 4th, Alex Gustafsson 5th. 6th is Philip Bartos, managed to recover at least to a top 6 position. Julian Ruttle in P7, Siri Högfeldt in 8th, Benjamin Mazatis in P9, Sophie Hoffman in 10th, Bennett Earl in 11th, Sean Ter in P12, Theo Vida in P13, Leonard Wolf in P14. After that, well, kind of strange incident of him going into pit lane. Ver Jurland in P15, Andreas Kapfinger in 16th, Vivian Earl in 17th, and Linda Frey rounding off the grid. Well, 2 amazing races that we've had here today. Next here at the track is the ADAC Turnwagen Junior Cup, qualifying number 2 for the NXT Gen Cup. Though for today, that was it. Tomorrow, 1 more qualifying session and 2 more races. Everything that was done today won't count tomorrow. We will start all over again. From me, Dan Papels, and Sebastian Burkhardt in the commentary booth. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for spectating here at the track, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Well, we in the commentary booth almost left early. We still have the podium to do. We had a very happy Philip Dietrich and we have a very happy Maxim Daga. Philip Dietrich though on the podium. And these 2 great friends, as you can see. Lukas Stiefelhagen also on the podium, his 2nd podium of the weekend. But Maxim Daga taking his first victory in the NXT Gen Cup. And boy, look at that smile. Look what it means to Maxim. Finally are the words that Maxim Daga is expressing. Finally, everything went right. Finally, everything went his way. Patrick Lester, owner and founder of the series, congratulating all 3 of them. Let's head down to the podium.
Auf Platz 2 Lukas Stiefelhagen. Und der Sieger heißt Maxim Daga. Und zur Ehre des Siegers hören wir jetzt die Hymne der Bundesrepublik Deutschland. einen kräftigen Applaus für unser Podium hier in Oschersleben. So, und einer der Serienpartner Tier von Pointing überreicht jetzt die Pokale. Die sind zuständig für den Datentransfer und die Telemetrie.
Time for the trophies.
Für den Drittplatzierten, für Philipp Dietrich.
Philipp Dietrich, the first of the 3 drivers to get his trophy. P3 for him in this race after his win in race number 1. Lukas Stiefelhagen once again on the podium. 2nd place for him this time round. And Maxim Dacha with his first victory in the NXT Gen Cup and taking the golden trophy home. Well then, like I said, we are back tomorrow with 1 more qualifying session and 2 more races. But now it's time to uncork the bottles and time to spray. Let's see if they do a proper celebration or if they wait with that for tomorrow. They of course still have to wear all of these suits tomorrow and they don't want them to be sticky at all, but they don't care. Philipp Dietrich doesn't care about that. Maxim Dacha doesn't care about that. That's the celebrations we like to see, boys. Lukas Stiefelhagen made sure to get out of the way of that before it got feisty. Well, for us, for today, that's it. 2 races, 1 qualifying session, 1 won by Philipp Dietrich, who finished 3rd in the 2nd race. Maxim Dacha wins race number 2 and Lukas Stiefelhagen on the podium twice. And Patricia Staricana just missing out in the 2nd race, but taking her 2nd place in race number 1. That's been it for the NXT Gen Cup. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
In der Fanzone in Sachen Race Room, Sim Racing oder 18 Uhr bei
time. This is victory. We are the chosen ones. We're making history. We'll show you what we got. Give everything we have. Every sweat, blood, and tear. Every last breath. We put up a fight until the last man, until the last day, until our last dance. We are here, giving everything and more. To seize the opportunity, you know that we will score. This is victory.